After covering most of the Burnout console titles, I feel that Burnout Paradise totally reinvented the franchise with its vast open world playground. My name is OneHip, and thanks for clicking on this final video in the Burnout retrospective series. I was excited to play this one again, as I grew up playing the PS3 version and later the Remastered edition, and playing through this entire series has been a joy. For this video, I played the Xbox 360 version of Paradise using Xenia. I didn't have online access as I haven't installed the NetPlay extension in the emulator, but I did sink a lot of time into the single player mode, simply called Paradise City. Paradise isn't just different from the Burnout you might remember, it's different by design. The game breaks the rules, tears up the track layouts, and throws you into something that's truly inviting. Open-ended, freeform, and player-driven adrenaline. Anyway, here's my retrospective review of Burnout Paradise. Let's go! Burnout Paradise was released in early 2008 for Xbox 360 and PS3, and the game later came to PC. Criterion had already mastered closed-circuit racing, and Paradise was their chance to try something new. Open-world games were gaining momentum in the industry, and EA gave Criterion the green light to reimagine Burnout as an open-world experience. There were no time-honoured traditions like menus, race grids, or loading screens to worry about. This time, pure freedom was the key ingredient. That pure freedom became the foundation of Paradise City. A sprawling map filled with streets, stunt jumps, shortcuts, and intersections that all serve as potential battlegrounds for races, road rages, and exploration, among other things. Lots of familiar locations from previous games like Crystal Lake, Motor City, and Palm Bay Heights were finally interconnected in this open world. Paradise City itself was bold, different, and risky, and the gameplay and visuals are the real highlights of this classic. If previous Burnouts were about tightly curated chaos, Paradise became chaos combined with freedom. Every intersection is an opportunity for the player. Events are triggered by pulling up to traffic lights and hitting the gas. You can find a particular event by the icon color on the map, or simply just explore to your heart's content. There's no event list or mini-map markers by default. You have to learn the city and its many roads, shortcuts, and street signs, which each have different names to really make it feel like a lived-in city, even though there's no pedestrians, to their benefit. It can be disorienting if you haven't played this before, but playing this for the first time in about 5 years, I started to appreciate the rhythm of the city once again. It kind of reminded me of learning a level in the Tony Hawk games. Can be awkward at first, but rewarding once you figure it out. Graphically, Burnout Paradise is still impressive. On the 360, the game runs at a smooth frame rate, with large draw distances and dense city detail, and with the trademark P filter that many of its titles were famous for. The lighting and reflections bring Paradise City to life, especially during dusk and dawn. There is a time of day cycle where you can adjust how long or short an in-game day is, and by default, a full day is 41 minutes in real time. I also love when you flick the camera around your vehicle, and if you didn't press anything, the HUD will disappear, giving you an opportunity to take a screenshot. If you do leave it for a bit longer, a cinematic of the area you're in will play to the tune of classical music, which I'll talk about later. And then of course, there's the crashes. They're gnarly and lovingly animated in slow motion, with every crumpled panel and spinning door captured in dramatic detail. Aftertouch has been removed from the series, and you can only watch the carnage you caused in its cinematic glory. I particularly love for when some of them, it freezes just before you collide into another vehicle or into a barricade. If you've played the remastered version, you'll get higher resolution textures and frame rate boosts, but even the original holds up very well. Like Revenge, I played at 60 FPS, but it felt a lot faster thanks to the motion blur. The structure of the game and its progression system can be quite rewarding as well. Your main goal is to upgrade your license by completing events across Paradise City. There are 5 main event types that you'll find in your playthrough, and these include races, classic point-to-point sprints across the city. There's no circuit or set path to follow. As long as you follow the arrow in your HUD and the finish line marker on your mini-map, then you're good. Road rage, taking down as many rivals as you can before you're either totaled or the time runs out. Marked van, where you have to get from point A to B while enemy cars try to destroy you. Stunt run, where you pull off drifts, jumps, and barrel rolls for a high score. You can also smash gates and billboards and pull off aerial spins for multipliers. I'll get to those later. And Burning Route, time trial challenges tied to specific vehicles. You unlock a better version of your car if you beat the time. It's up to you how to tackle these, as you need to win a certain amount of them before you upgrade your license, starting from learners all the way to Burnout Elite. You can do the same event type 10 times in a row or mix it up. You can also spend hours exploring without triggering anything. That flexibility is where the open world formula shines. There are also several shops you can drive through to gain items, including junkyards where you can change cars, or for the first time in the series, motorbikes, which have their own events. There are also auto repair shops where you repair your car, and these play an important role in events like Road Rage and Marked Man, as you start the event in the same condition as when you activate it. So it's recommended to visit one of these shops before you go for them. Other shops include paint shops and gas stations where you instantly refill your boost. There are several classes of car, such as race, stunt, and aggression types, each with their own advantages and which are more suitable for different events. Each car has their own boost style. For example, stunt has medium boost, and race cars have lower levels of boost, with the latter being able to refill instantly after doing a burnout if you perform enough actions while emptying your meter. I mostly use stunt cars, as I felt that many of them had a good mix of speed and toughness, plus flying through the air with them is pretty fun. You unlock new cars by winning events and when you upgrade your license. Then in a twist, the event cars don't just appear in your garage. Instead, they roam the city, and you need to take them down in a free roam chase to add them to your collection. It's a cool twist that gives the exploration more purpose. And thankfully the cars will spawn in close by to where you are. You don't have to travel halfway across the map to go get them, which I appreciate. If you're enjoying this video, thanks for sticking around. I've been covering most of the Burnout console games in order of release. And I've also got retrospectives on Tony Hawk and EA Skate if you're into those games as well. If you want more deep dives like this one, consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like. It really helps the channel grow. Anyway, back to it. Paradise City is one large connected world with urban streets, highways, winding mountains, and industrial areas. It's a mix of dense downtowns, seaside roads, and rural back routes, and each zone flows into the next without load times, as you would expect with an open world game. Learning the map gives you a serious advantage in races, especially because the game doesn't lock you to a specific path like I mentioned before. There are billboards to smash, fences to break, and over 400 yellow gates to find. Completionists will have a field day here. The remastered version even includes Big Surf Island, which was DLC for the original game. Big Surf Island is an expansion area with huge ramps, super jumps, and new events, and a wonderful addition to the game. The traditional crash mode that we've seen grow since Burnout 2 is gone here. In its place is Showtime mode, which can be triggered at any time by pressing LB and RB or L1 and R1 depending on your controller. You bounce your car down the street with your boost bar, trying to hit as many vehicles as possible, and you gain multipliers when you hit buses. It's absurd and kind of fun in small bursts, but it's not the physics puzzle playground that Crash mode used to be. However, if you time it right, you can go for at least 5 minutes and rack up heaps of points. Showtime feels more like a mini game than a core mode, and I get why they made the change. But it's something I didn't go back to, as I found it too easy. This game famously opens with its namesake Paradise City by Guns N' Roses whenever you start the game. It's an iconic track, and it makes sense to have it here. And once you hear it, it's hard to imagine the game without it. Burnout Paradise brings back more songs under the EA Tracks label, but with a more mainstream mix, including songs like Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne, Wood by Alice in Chains, Epic by Faith No More, and Rusty Cage by Soundgarden. There's also classical music from composers like Mozart, Brahms, and Beethoven, so if you've always wanted to super jump to Vivaldi's The Four Seasons Spring First movement, then you have your chance to do it here. There are also tracks from at the time contemporary artists like Junkie XL, Maxine, Sugar Cult, and Killswitch Engage that fit the game's vibe perfectly. And there are even reprised tracks from the first 3 Burnout games which didn't have licensed music, which is really cool. And then there's DJ Atomica, a spiritual successor to DJ Striker from Burnout 3. He returns from SSX3 to serve as your in-universe radio host. He's charming, slightly cheesy, and genuinely helpful as he explains mechanics and encourages exploration, and he does his job well. Thankfully, he's not as intrusive as the previous DJ. He chimes in just at the right moments.
Smash another driver off the road to score a takedown and pick up a boost bonus.
Burnout Paradise took the series in a completely new direction, and not everyone was on board with it at first. But looking back, it's clear Criterion was ahead of the curve. Instead of refining the old formula, they broke it apart and rebuilt it as something open, chaotic, and endlessly replayable. The tight circuits and rigid progression of the earlier games gave way to a living, breathing world you could truly own as a player while working your way to an elite license. You start with a low-spec stunt car, earn your way through license classes, and each step forward feels earned. And even though Aftertouch is gone and the crash mode as we know it doesn't return, the Burnout spirit is still alive. You're rewarded for playing dangerously. You build up your boost bar, chain burnouts together, take down roaming unlockable cars, and chip away at your Paradise awards, which are in-game achievements, among many other things. Whether you're playing the original on the 360 like I did, or dive into the 2018 remastered version, the sense of speed and style still holds up. It's not the Burnout that many may have grown up with, but it's the one that will stay with you the longest and one that you'll go back to once in a while just to upgrade your license one more time. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks for joining me across this entire Burnout journey. From the raw intensity of the original games to the structured chaos of Takedown, as well as the pure adrenaline of Revenge and the open world freedom of Paradise, it's been fascinating to see how Criterion pushed things further with each installment. I mentioned in another video that I was unable to get my hands on Burnout Dominator, but I may save it for a future video where I talk about all the other Burnout games in one go. Before I do my Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 retrospective as well as my 3 and 4 review, there will be another racing series that I'll cover, but I'll keep the title underground for now. What's your favourite Burnout game? Did you get lost in the structure of Takedown or the destruction of Revenge? Or did you fall in love with the freeform world of Paradise City? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like, subscribe for more videos like this, and check out my other deep dives into Tony Hawk, EA Skate, and more games that shaped the way we play. My name is OneHip, and you have a good one. Bye!